Okay, guys, today's lesson is going to be uh, a chicken is smarter than an American. We could say any developed, a person from any developed nation. We've got all of this noise going on. Let's start out with how intelligent a chicken is. We have this means of measuring IQ. It's basically a means of measuring human, uh, the ability to retain human-specific information. We aren't properly measuring that because the information is specific to humans. Doesn't mean that's only gonna not really impress a human. The amount of information that we don't assign to the chicken. Remember, you're telling the chicken, hey, what's 2 plus 2? And the chicken doesn't know, so you're going to look at this dumbass chicken. But if you live with chickens, you're going to find these guys are amazing. The amount of information it's carrying through, the amount of information they have the second they come out of the womb, nobody needs to tell them. Nobody tells a hunting dog how to hunt. Nobody tells a sheepdog how to herd sheep. That comes straight out of the womb. The second they're born, that information is there. How to breathe, how to walk, how to hunt, how to eat, how to... everything is already built in. You've got to go to school to find out all of these things and then to do them wrong. A chicken from the womb knows how to perform medicine. The chickens in all of the other houses here, every time the mangoes are in the trees, their chickens get sick, and most of the time, the houses that get an illness called Bidwella, if they've got 30 chickens, 40 chickens, the whole herd dies. There was a guy that had 150 ducks. The whole herd died at once. So he's got all his money wrapped up into these ducks. His job is going to be selling ducks. Then I see him using a chainsaw and go, hey, why aren't you at home caring for the ducks? What's he doing? This is a different job. His job is caring for his ducks. That's it. It's not a side hustle. That's his thing. He wakes up and cares for his ducks. He sells some of his ducks, changing water, getting feed. His whole 150, his livelihood, died in one shot. Now, all of these people are choppyendo. They're chopping all of their brush down. All of the naturally occurring foliage, they're murdering that. They don't see any value in it. They want it to look like an American backyard. They don't have grass, and so they're just chopping everything down so it looks like cement. It's unobstructed. They say choppyando. They come over and say they're going to limpiando or choppyando my yard for me, and I tell them, guys, thank you so much, but I really like green stuff. The dirt's hot as balls. Brown is hot. Green is fresco. It's cooler. Now, why that's important is there's a bunch of prickly things out there that you just as soon not have at your house. But when the mangoes are in the trees, my chickens start eating the prickly things. And my chickens don't get, I better knock on some, right? My chickens don't get sick for 10 years that I've been here doing this. My chickens don't get sick because my chickens know medicine. Now, if you were to perform human medicine, you need to go to school for a decade to get dumber, quite frankly. These animals have medicine out of the egg, straight away out of the egg. And we're going to school to unlearn everything we're born with and relearn the worst medicine on the planet. Wow! To relearn medicine. There's all of this information that we would have coming straight out of the womb. And instead, we're going to this school that's telling us, no, don't do it that way. This is what intelligence is. This is what medicine is. This is what intelligence is. This cat is going nuts today, man. He wants in on the action. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy taking care of the restaurant? Are you going to cook the beer now? We're going to school immediately the second we get to this learning age. We're going to a school that's saying, memorize this, memorize this, memorize this, memorize this. And it's literally the dumbest language on earth. But it's proprietary to look at other language and go, well, that person must be a moron. They can't even speak English. And that person that speaks Spanish, a language 10 times more complicated than English, and say, well, that person's kind of a moron. They can't even speak Spanish. And the chicken is looking at you going, boy, look at this idiot that can't even speak chicken. If you spend a lot of time around chickens, you'll realize that they have a full-on vocabulary. You can understand exactly what they are talking about. There was a chicken that had her first set of eggs the other day. She's in the chicken coop. She's in a lithium-ion battery box that's been repurposed as a chicken nest or whatever. And so she's got all her eggs. This is her first time, but these eggs are little tiny eggs. Little tiny eggs. They're not viable. If we hatched them, we'd have little tiny guys that would just get run over by a car. They wouldn't have enough body heat. They would just die. But, an animal's going to get them. Something's going to happen. You're not just going to have adult tiny chickens. These chickens aren't going to make it. And so if you're smart, you're going to cook those eggs instead of waiting to watch all of these chickens die. However, this mom's being very protective, and it's super cute, so I'm leaving it alone. I didn't need eggs at the time. I didn't notice she had them until I realized they were super small. One of the other chickens goes over and breaks the eggs, pecks her a bunch of times, and then goes and tends to her chickens. And if you spent time around these chickens, you knew exactly what this chicken was telling this younger hen. Stupid, these are not viable babies. Put this energy back in the soil and begin again. You're wasting your time. This is life or death. You cannot waste your year caring for miniature chickens. They're not going to live. They won't have body heat. Baby chickens' body heat is massive. If they get wet one time, it's over. They just die. That's why in lots of places closer to the country, guys will go around during Easter and they're selling baby chickens for 10 cents or 20 cents or something like that. And they've dyed them, which isn't okay. And everybody's going, hey, I'm going to have chickens, man. I paid 50 cents. I've got this chicken. Now I'm going to have chickens. and all of them just died because they need mom's body heat, but it's an exact amount of body heat. This chicken is giving this chick an exact amount of body heat while they are in the egg, and then in these first 3 months of life. I've got a set that are just about to leave mom, probably at about the 3-month mark, probably at the pound and a half, 2 pound area, and they still crowd close to mom, but they no longer need mom's body heat for the first 3 months. If you've got a little tiny chick and you go, how cute, I'm going to make sure and foster this beautiful life, you're just going to watch those birds die. I've got some right now, they're so cute, but they're the size of a bottle cap. It's so cute to watch them scuttling around, but they can't get up a step. When it's feeding time, the mom says, come here, come here, come here. They have a language for every different thing. You can understand their words after a little while. And mom is saying, come here, come here, come here, come here. And, these chicks are too tiny to get up the stairs, to get up the side of the hill to the area where they're going to get fed. I'm coming down there. I'm putting a little tiny feeder for water feeder for them. I'm hand tossing them some food, some smaller grains of food, hoping that they make it. But they can't outrun anything. The dogs are freeloaders, not my dogs. The neighbor's dogs are freeloaders. If a chicken pecks their nose, they're going to get out of there. But if there's a chicken that's too slow to outwalk them, they're going to eat that every time, every single time. These guys just aren't going to make it. These guys just aren't going to make it. And the chicken knows that. Isn't that crazy? I had 4 puppies. And the mom kept trying to kill the puppies. And I'm going, hey dude, my wife is pretty connected to these puppies. But the mom keeps looking, the mom is looking at me as though trying to portray information and then sitting on the head of these puppies. And I'm going, hey dude, I get it, they're annoying. They were this big. They were, 2 inches long. At the time, it'd only take her sitting on this pup for a second. And she's looking at me like, hey Stephen, this is what needs to be done. And I'm saying, hey, my wife is infertile. She's 20, she's infertile, and this is breaking her heart. She's super connected to the idea of having these 4 puppies. And, the dog is looking at me like, this isn't going to be a fun road. The dog that actually made it the longest was the dumbest of them all. This dog, every other dog is saying, out of the womb saying, hey, I can't even open my eyes yet, but mom's got warmth, mom's got a smell, mom's got a heartbeat, mom is making noises for us to find her, mom's got milk. They haven't even opened their eyes. They have all of this intelligence built in except for Blue. Blue would go the opposite direction of mom. He'd be rubbing up on the base of the toilet. We were keeping him in the bathroom for the first month or so. And he's hugging up on the washing machine. He's hugging up on the freezing cold base of the toilet. And then he's just crying. He's 2 inches long, and he sounds louder than a full-grown lady. So cute, but that was genetic defect. And we should have listened to the mom on that. We didn't, and so we had to watch all 4 of those dogs die. Horrible, painful deaths. The first one probably at about 3 months, probably 3 or 4 pounds, gets an inoculation and then just goes into a seizure. And the vet is saying, hey, this is a normal thing, done properly. This is just going to pass. And it doesn't. The dog just convulses for 24 hours, and then we get to watch the dog die. For no apparent reason, nothing happened to to this dog. And each of these dogs are just straight up and down suicidal. They're running out into traffic, but you know, a dog might be curious at traffic and chase that car's wheel. But these dogs are running up to the front of a moving vehicle and smiling at the front of the wheel. The instruction manual, the code that we have accessed in this dog's genome is suicide. We took the dogs to the beach. We're having each of the dogs go for a swim. 3 of the dogs immediately know what they're doing. Barely out of the womb, they already know what they're doing. And so we're putting them in, and they're taking off. They already know how to swim. We have to teach a human how to swim. This guy already knows how to swim, dude. Chickens know how to swim. Ducks know how to swim right out of the gate. And we're saying, look at us, we're the smart ones. We have to learn to swim. Weirdo. These chickens are smarter than we are. They've got medicine right out of the gate. We can't swim. We have to take a class with some jerk in order to figure out how to move our arms in water. But the 4th one, we set it in there, and it just goes to the bottom, but it has a big smile on its face and starts breathing water. But it's receiving serotonin. There's something wrong with the genes here, and the mom can sense that there's something wrong with the genes right out of the gate. A chicken kills a chick, and you're saying, look at these stupid animals. They don't know anything. Your dog eats grass, and you're going, God damn it, every time you eat the grass, you puke. You can't remember last time you ate the grass, you puke? Stop fucking eating the grass. The dog is eating pathogen. The things inside of its tummy are telling it, hey, that food is going to be amazing. Hey, that tree has this microorganism that we're short of. And then the microorganisms tell it, hey, eat this grass. Now the dog is not going to hear a voice in its head that says, hey, you've eaten pathogen, and so if you eat this grass, you're going to puke. The dog just has this connectivity to something that we have lost through the vagus nerve. These things are communicating directly. The dog doesn't know that it's eating pathogen. The guys in the tummy know that it ate pathogen. The guys in the tummy know this dog is going to die if this doesn't puke this up. But they're not saying, hey dog, if you don't eat that grass, you're going to die. The dog is oblivious, but is essentially far smarter than any human. We're not going to innately know that we've got pathogen and then innately know what plant to eat so that we vomit that pathogen up without ever becoming aware. This automation in the genetics has outsmarted us, out-evolved us. Very beautiful. All the time humans are saying, look at me, I'm the big thing. And I need you to know, you're not made by some wish genie in the sky. You're not made by an alien. We all evolved together, and these animals are fascinating. We got to take it down a notch here. We got to take it down a notch here, people. We have to stop thinking of ourselves as God's gift to the planet, so we can just trash it because, whoa, we're this amazing species. My goddamn chicken's smarter than you are. Right now, this chicken is performing medicine. I was dating a beautiful young lady. And during the pandemic, my beautiful, beautiful wife, we were living in the human life cycle. Abundant plants and animals, a connection to soil. And so at every moment during the day, this young lady is just dumping estrogen, dumping pheromones. I'm dumping testosterone. Why are you not dumping testosterone? The microorganisms that make testosterone are going to the water treatment plant. You're in a life cycle with a water treatment plant. This is your circle. This is your circle going around and around and around and around. You're taking the guys that make nitric oxide as well, but make testosterone. You're putting them into a water treatment plant. They're being murdered, and then you're getting water in return that's full of chlorine. That kills anybody that would make testosterone in your tummy. And so you're recycling old testosterone. Your body is on a 911 emergency, drought, starvation. You're filling yourself so full of food, what your body is trying to ingest is the microorganism that makes testosterone, that makes dopamine, that makes serotonin, that makes GLP-1s, that makes the liquid, the spinal fluid in your head that has to be changed out 100% every day, or you'll feel anxiety all day, every day, like every single American. Your body's telling you, we gotta eat everything. Hopefully we're gonna get one of these microorganisms. We should have 10 trillion. Hopefully we find one. Keep eating. However, Giselle and I are in this beautiful life cycle with plants and animals, and so the microorganisms that we poop out, 10 billion, go into the soil. The sugar goes into the soil. Plants are turning sunlight into sugar. Amazing. The microorganisms need the sugar. Boom, you see a genesis of microorganisms. 10 billion turn into 100 trillion. Now we see extreme health in the soil health because the microorganisms are doing the same beneficial jobs in the soil as in our tummy. Now the plants are taking that up with calcium, magnesium, nitrogen, phosphorus, protein, carbohydrate. They're taking up microorganisms. This guy has microorganisms in his bark, in his wood, in his leaves, in his fruit, and in his seeds as a to-go pack because the seeds are his children. There's a to-go pack of every microorganism that he's going to need, that this guy is using, and that his children will need at their new location. Fascinating. Amazing. The trees are outsmarting you right now. Now, me and Giselle are packed full of them because we're eating from the same trees that we're in a life cycle with. And so I'm just dumping testosterone 24 hours a day. She's dumping estrogen. So we're like two junkies. In our house, there's a little tiny hallway-style kitchen. And so in order to get to another part of the kitchen, there's only one path. We've got to pass each other over and over and over. It's a very tight kitchen. Contact is not necessarily mandated, but why wouldn't you? And so she's kind of dancing and singing as she's preparing things. She's also, when she's chopping and doing different things, she's shaking her little tiny body. And so the fat in her ass is shaking up and down. In her breasts are shaking up and down. This is blowing my mind visually, and then I'm receiving I'm receiving estrogen. I'm receiving pheromones. I'm receiving serotonin. I'm receiving motivation, dopamine from this amazing person. I'm just doped out of my mind on drugs, amazing drugs, as we normally would be. Your relationship is crap because we've removed this chemical attraction. At the same time as I'm receiving this isn't a one-way street. She's copping a feel every time she passes me because every time she touches my hand, she receives testosterone. She remembers this testosterone when she was a baby, the first time she grabbed her dad's finger, and now this is something that she needs. Soothing to her. Now, in this beautiful life cycle during this pandemic, the people around us don't really care for us that much. They don't talk to us, and they're drinking in the morning time, so we really couldn't care less. We're in this, they're in this. And so they're angry with us. They're telling us, come over here and do what we're doing. They're swingers. Sailboaters are swingers, creepy old people that smoke and drink alcohol in the morning time, and they're angrily saying, hey, stop exercising 3 hours a day, sit down and drink rum in the morning time, smoke cigarettes to have fun like us. And we're going, whoa. Yeah, we're not going to drink hard alcohol in the morning time. We're going to go for a nice bike ride, a kayak, a run. And when we get done, we're going to be elated, and you're still going to be sitting there trying to choke down 1,000 cigarettes because your body's promising you that eventually one of these cigarettes is going to give you as much pleasure as we're going to get from exercising. These people are dead, they're zombies, they're angry at us, and we just don't care. We're not paying any attention. We have no animosity, but it just doesn't ruffle our feathers. You're all zombies, and so we're kind of used to this, and so we're in our own little world. For the most part, we are non-verbal. We're going to go out on a boat, and the motor's kind of making a little bit of noise. We could talk, but Giselle's just going to kind of Dominicans point with their mouth. And so Giselle's going to look out. Giselle's going to have better eyes. Females have eyes that can pick out colors, and men can only imagine. Fascinating. We do not appreciate the other animals and the other species. The female species is fascinating. It's evolved a whole separate set of skills, and when you combine those two sets of skills, you become excellent hunters. We would out-hunt guys that have been doing this stuff for 20, 30, 40 years, and we get a little bit ticked. We're out there killing it, dude. We get fish in no time. But I brought somebody that's evolved to have cat-like eyesight. I've cheated. They've got dudes with them. I've got somebody whose superpower is eyesight. She's going to look off in the distance and see a very clear area. And that's what we're looking for. And so she's going to point with her lips over there, Stephen. And we're going to go fishing. We're underwater, so we're obviously not doing a bunch of talking. We're touching each other's hand. When she spots a big fish, she's going to point. She's going to see it first. And I'm going to listen to the boss over here, and I'm going to whale out with these big old long legs and catch that guy. We've each got our amazing skills. Billions of years of evolution has given each one of us these amazing skill sets that we tend to ignore. We're just generalizing people to make PC happy. We're nonverbal, and we really don't need a bunch of communication. When we go to restaurants, between us, we only own one telephone, but we're not going to bring the telephone and fight over who's going to stare at the telephone. I'm wasted on chemicals from this beautiful young lady. she's wasted on chemicals she's receiving from me. We're basically just waiting to go back into the bedroom again. But, when we do feel a social obligation to talk, it's as though we found our best friend again. So we are building businesses together, websites together, restaurants together, menus together, and so if we do sit down and use human words, human speech, we're going to blow each other's mind. What? You checked out that recipe. I was checking out a recipe from over here. I wonder if we can combine those recipes. What? Nobody's ever made a restaurant with that genre of food. This is going to blow people's minds, and people would watch us and later write us and say, Stephen, Giselle, that's what everybody dreams of their entire lives, and none of us have it. And they didn't. Every one of these couples that have been together 30, 40, 50 years would have just almost a screaming match as a conversation. I just ate that. What do you mean? Well, I just ate that. That's their normal tone. All of them. When you chill out with Americans, their conversation when they're alone. Hey, what do you want for dinner? I just had that. You're like, yeah. You kill your goldfish, or what's happening here? This is not a relationship where you guys are cooperating or enjoying each other. I just had that. I had that yesterday. I just had that at work. That's everybody dreads the American, what do you want for dinner conversation, because these are just people that are not in love. The serotonin is recycled. It's going through this system over and over and over. It's lost its juice. It's lost its punch decades ago. But your poor body is just recycling this same testosterone. You got low testosterone because the guys that make it are going. So you're having to go to the doctor and get buy testosterone from another site, which of course isn't doing your manhood any kind of good. You're having to take pills to make your wiener hard. This isn't working, guys. These chickens are, in your eyes, nonverbal. We understand the chickens' languages. We can't make all the chicken sounds, but we understand what the chickens are saying. And the things they aren't saying don't need to be said. You've got to go to school. Somebody's got to go to school for 10 years. Then you've got to make an appointment. You've got to go to the thing. You guys are going to exchange all these words. The chicken just knows. The grandmother, the mom, and the daughter all know without saying words. Hey, the mangoes are in the trees. Our body senses that the mangoes are in the trees. It's time to eat the thorns off of this plant. It's fascinating. It's beautiful, guys. It's absolutely breathtaking. Life is so much worse than we think, but the capability, opportunity, possibilities are so much more beautiful. I cannot describe to you how it feels to be in love when you're full of these chemicals, guys. You cannot be full of these chemicals if you are in a life cycle with a water treatment plant, in a life cycle with chlorine and chloramine and bromine. However, if you rejoin the human life cycle and get full of these amazing chemicals, there's a whole one side of the brain that's trying to tell you everything. Every bit of information we've ever recorded. We don't need to relearn every life. That's being recorded. Your left side is the one that's talking. The right side has information going back millions of years. And if we could quiet the noise, we could reconnect to that information like a goddamn chicken does. My chicken's smarter than you because your mind has too much goddamn noise in there. What we need to do is reconnect. Unfortunately, if you're not in your life cycle, the right side of the brain is whispering to the left side of the brain, hey, carbohydrates are great, and exercise is hard, because the right side of your brain has an automated system that's decided you gotta go. We've got to kill you, we've got to get you in the soil. If we can get you back in your life cycle, though, that changes. If we can get you back in your life cycle, the right side becomes an encyclopedia. It becomes a Ask Google of all human information for millions of years. You can just connect to this database. Most of the time you're not going to need to. If your body's trying to kill you, it's going to whisper, carbs are great, eat those chemicals, eat that preservative. That's my favorite. Eat that neurotoxin. The largest consumer of neurotoxin in the entire world. 341 million zombies just chugging poison and saying, "This is my. I'm the cool one. I got the haircut for the chai latte guy, right? That's looking down his nose at the coffee drinker. I'll take 6 extra shots of cappuccino. This guy's the chill guy, so he's looking at that guy like, oh man, what a dumbass. I'm drinking my poison in chai form. You're all drinking poison. The right side's telling the left side, this is my jam, this is my personality, this is who I am as a human being. This is how I define myself as somebody that drinks my poison with 3 sugars and 2 creams. Almond creams, though, not that other crap like that, dumbass. I take my poison the better way. Guys, if we put you back in your human life cycle, get sustainable plants and animals on site, this voice stops trying to put you in the soil and becomes a place where you can just go and find out whatever. But the things that'll be whispered to you, like the chickens eating prickly things in the mangoes, it's not going to need to say, hey dude, you got pathogen, so you're going to need to go eat this thing, and the pathogen will be neutralized. You'll just say, man, suddenly I'm having a craving for this specific food. And you'll eat some ginger root, or put some garlic in your food, and you will repair. You'll kill a pathogen that you've taken in, and you won't even know. You're not going to get an explanation. Like the dog that eats the grass, not knowing that he's accidentally ingested something that will kill him, he's not going to be told, hey, you ate pathogen, go and eat the grass and then you're going to puke. His body's just going to say, you know what sounds great? Grass is amazing. And the dog is going to eat the grass. You're not any smarter than that dog. Right now the system is trying to kill you. Later on, if you change its mind, if you change the prime decision, now all of a sudden this thing will be looking out for you on a level you won't even perceive, but you'll have this wealth of information that you can go into as well. All the people that you're attracted to right now that don't work out, that was intentional. This guy's trying to shun mating opportunity, and if we throw the switches, that guy's going to change what you're attracted to and what you attract. The potential is amazing, guys. Guys, I gotta go. I've run long, but I really wanted you guys to do that information. You guys are important to me. I've been doing this a decade, and I'm not going to stop.